Welcome to Caesar Sound. I'm your host, Kai Harding, and in today's episode, we take a closer look at the creative media industry, diving deeper into some specifics, as well as interviewing both media professionals and students. The episode promises to be an informative one, so without further ado, let's move straight into it. Our interviews will be with Martin Kane, the Arts Development Officer at the IOM Art Council, and Tessa Hawley, one of the editors at Manx Radio.
About your criteria for funding artists.
Okay, so there's a few different funding sort of mechanisms that we've got. If we look at just like the grant, which is like the most popular one, we have got an online application form. You have to supply a marketing plan. So you need to tell council how you're going to tell the world about your project, whether that's an event or a project in itself. And then there's a big thing where you've got to, if you're asking council for say £5,000, you need to evidence down you're going to spend that £5,000 in. So there's a bit of a finance bit there, but it's quite straightforward, which is not so tricky. So a lot of people can apply and get really excited about their project, but they don't actually know how they're going to do the project. So they're just like, this is a great idea, and figure out how to do it after I get the money. And council will say, we want to know you know how to do it before we give you the money, So, and there isn't necessarily a cap on it. So you put together a project, and you say, this is going to affect every high school child on the island can take part in this if they want to. It's going to be £50,000. The council will weigh that up and go, there's 2,000 high school kids on the island. That works out all right in our heads as, it's £25 a head, whatever the maths is going to. I've dug myself in a corner there, but yeah. Arts Council, not Maths Council, sorry. There is no, if that's how this project comes to, apply for that. Don't undersell it or, those sorts of things.
Thanks, Martin. That was very insightful. Now let's hear what Tessa had to say.
So you're like one of the largest streaming companies on the island, right? Does that come with any pressure or requirements?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you think about Manx Radio, it's a very well-known brand. And so I think because we are the public service broadcaster of the island, we have a duty to sort of be there for the public. And so I think that can cause quite a bit of pressure.
And 40% of your broadcast has to be spoken, right? Do you ever struggle to meet that?
Not really, because we know that that's our license requirement, so that's what we work towards. Obviously, some days it's easier than others. So if you have a day where the weather's really bad, there's a lot more speech because you're giving more information out to the public. But we know that that's something we have to do, and so we just it's our job to make sure that we hit that. But in a way, that's still engaging for the audience.
Okay, thank you. And you were one of the first to transfer to DAB? How did that affect your company?
So we've actually set up a trial for DAB on the island in the Douglas and Onken area, because we feel it's a platform that we want to be on. So we've sort of started this trial to see how well it goes and whether the public enjoy it and whether they get better coverage of Manx Radio on DAB. And then obviously we will look to assess the results of that trial. And then if we think that that's a success, obviously ideally we'd want to push that out further if it's possible.
It's clear that selling yourself and knowing what you're talking about are important aspects of the industry. You have to be able to sell your worth to potential employers. Additionally, working with large media companies can come with a lot of pressure that you need to be able to handle while keeping a cool head and meeting the expectations of both the audience and employer, which can be difficult at times but is an essential part of the industry. Moving on from the professionals, let's speak to a fellow student here at UCM, studying creative media, Axel Lee. So, Axel, what drove you to pursue a career in creative media industry?
I chose to do this because I'm really interested in animation. This is one of the only ways you can get into it.
Do you think being able to manage pressure and meet expectations are important parts of the creative media industry, especially when working with larger, more well-known companies?
Yes, in this industry, it's going to include lots of timed work and time pressure. You need to be able to manage your time appropriately and under pressure while still producing high-quality results.
In your opinion, how important is being able to sell yourself to potential employers?
I think it's really important because there's going to be lots of people fighting for one job, so you need to be able to show that you're the best suited for that job.
Well, as you heard, this industry involves a lot of group work and tight deadlines that can be a source of great pressure that you must learn to overcome in order to be able to perform to your best and meet expectations. The creative media industry also proves to be a very competitive industry, and being able to sell yourself as the best choice of potential employee is an essential aspect in order for success. This episode showed interviews with both media professionals and students, discussing the importance of selling yourself and meeting expectations while managing pressure, which we learned were all important parts of the creative media industry. That'll be the end of today's episode. I've been your host, Kai Harding, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Caesar Sound.